Welcome to the Endurance Balance. I'm Coach JW McKenna. Joining me are Coach Alicia Phillips and Coach Ann Sharkey. Together, we break down the 80-20 philosophy through the lens of real life. Our goal is simple, to help you fit the training into the chaos. Let's get into today's episode. Welcome back to the Endurance Balance. I'm Coach JW, and joining me at the table are Coaches Alicia and Ann. It's late July. The shiny January goals have worn off, and forcing a rigid training plan through the chaos of summer is causing some resentment. Today, we are breaking down the psychology of the late season motivation drop and how to use radical adaptability, easy for me to say, to survive it. We're talking session slicing, manufacturing dopamine, and why fitting the training around kids, summer weddings, and camping trips is the ultimate endurance balance. I did mention that Coaches Alicia and Ann are with me. Ann is not with us because she just doesn't care. And
she's very
not
unmotivated.
Yeah, very unmotivated. That's what it was. Not motivated, doesn't care. No, Ann's not with us today because she is not feeling well. But we have to
feel
take
better,
our
Ann.
Yes, feel better, Ann. So everybody wish Ann well. Let's go with the training logs. What do you have going on, Alicia? What do you got for athletes coming up?
Yeah. So, well, maybe this might be you right now, but you're probably either in it, beginning it, because let's be honest, those fall races are coming. Most people are more either training for the big marathons, the half marathons, the part we look forward to training in the fall, but it's now that really is going to make everything come together. Personally, I keep saying I'm trying to still figure out my summer schedule, and it's now end of July, and I'm still trying to figure out my summer schedule. We just got back from a little trip out to the beach, and so that just that routine of you're not in a routine, you're getting back into your routine and just trying to balance it all in. But again, we'll kind of get into this about what kind of keeps you going. And yeah, I had an athlete who just finished Lake Placid. So shout out to Jay. He crushed his goals. And it's a very interesting, I always say this is the fun art part of coaching because he is doing a 70.3 coming up. But it's balancing the recovery of his Ironman, which was his A race, and fine tuning what's his resting heart rate, how is he recovering for this? This was his very first marathon or Ironman, but also making sure he's prepped and ready to go for his next race. So making sure we keep injury, health, sickness, all those things top priority before we jump back into it. So it's been very fun on my end of just being dialed in on the data and also just the check-in on the personality, like how are you feeling, and keeping his nutrition up. I think most people will say that, just because you're not training doesn't mean you need to be not fueling the recovery, especially. I feel like I'm digressing here, but let's keep going. I have a couple other athletes who are in it. It's really cool because there's two that are training for the same race and they are also neighbors and buddies. So when we get into motivation, but accountability, having someone to show up with for races and training has been making my job easier because they're keeping each other accountable and showing up and calling each other out when somebody isn't doing their proper working sets for you, if that will you be. And yeah, and like me, like my race was in the spring. I'm kind of in this maintenance. My goal has been just to keep my base, not lose it, not feel like I'm starting over. But I just had a conversation with my sister, and as you guys know, I'm going on this big training vacation where we're going to be doing a lot of trail running. And reality check, that is less than 10 weeks away. So should probably get motivated to start training for that. So TikTok.
Oh, it is so funny. I was just having a chat with someone last night about like you're saying, it's only 10 weeks away, but when you booked it, you probably had plenty of time. And even now you're like, you appreciate what goes into some training and you're like, oh my goodness, it's only 10 weeks away. I don't know if I'll be ready.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had some athletes come to me and go, I got a marathon or I've got an ultra in 10 weeks. And can you finish off my training? Like help me polish the training. And it's like,
Mm-hmm.
sure. What have you been doing so far? Not
Mm-hmm.
much. No, can't get you ready in 10 weeks kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so it
Mm-hmm.
creeps up
Well, you
so
can. You just got to
fast.
really readjust the goal.
Well, exactly right. Yeah, now you're training like an elite where you're not doing your 10 to 14 a week, you're doing 10 to 14 a day. So depending on what the goal is. And then I just had a call with an athlete today, following up, and we're talking about next steps, right? And so, it was even kind of mentioned on the call. It's like, oh, that's 12 months away or 10 months away or, has so many weeks or whatever. And I go, well, once we calculate 20 weeks for a training program, 4 to get ready, you actually start training for this in about 2 weeks. And he's like, oh, wow. Like
Mm-hmm.
just trying to put it all into perspective is always
Mm-hmm.
interesting. And I always say the longer you have to get ready for a goal, the better prepared you will always be. Right. So
100%.
very, very cool. I've had a couple athletes race. I had Matthew, so I'll send a shout out to Matthew. He did the Ravine Lake Sprint Triathlon a couple of weeks ago, so just the Saturday after our last episode dropped. And he did very well with that one. And it was more of a kind of a fun one for him. He did his 70.3. Did very, very well with that one, as we talked about. And then he's going to do a marathon coming up in a little bit here, probably in about 8 weeks, 6 weeks. But he wanted to do this one for fun. And so, we were able to fit this in because it was important to him, and fitting the training in, and I think it ties in a little bit, and we'll talk to it more. And I might come back to it too. And how do you motivate athletes that are starting to lose motivation? Because that's kind of what we're going to be talking about today. And I think for me, part of it is, again, I'm just a tour guide on their journey. Right. I'll help you get where you want to go and I'll guide you down the right streets so you don't have to necessarily make the same mistakes that I have made in the past or see other athletes make potentially in the past. But it's your journey. So, because I've had athletes come to me and say, well, what should I do? And it's like, well, what do you want to do? Like, we'll make it work if we can, because it's got to be enjoyable to you. It's not just to Coach JW's plan. It's got to be your plan or our plan, mostly your plan, right? So, and then I had Patrick do his first 70.3 last Saturday. So just we're recording here on Tuesday, so a few days ago on Saturday when he did it. He did very well. They canceled the swim on him. He was a little disappointed with that, but that's racing. The water was too
Was it
choppy.
a river
So,
race? Oh, it was an open one?
open
Is it ocean?
water. I believe it was a
Obviously.
lake.
Oh.
Because just 1 second here. But athletes, when you're listening, as disappointing as it is, trust me, they don't like canceling parts of a triathlon either, especially with all the cost and the planning and everything that kind of goes into it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's for safety reasons, right? Like I think I've had a couple athletes now so far this summer, 2 or 3 anyways, that have missed their swims. One was because the water was too contaminated. This one is, too choppy. So again, these are all
Yeah.
safety issues. It was Ohio.
I also had a race. I had an athlete. She flew out to France to have her Ironman completely canceled.
Oh, the whole venue. No way.
Due to heat, the stubborn heat wave in Europe. Obviously there's, safety at their, disposal, but to cancel an entire race, that's brutal. It's really brutal.
That's
a lot of money.
And I know that's not an easy decision. So,
right. It wasn't Ironman's decision. I think it was France's. They didn't give him a choice, but I guess that would be your thing to buy the insurance.
The one time, I guess.
I don't know.
Yeah, definitely weigh the cost. How many times would I have had to pay for the? That's what I do. Anyways, I digress. You're right. It's not. Sometimes it's not even the promoters, right? Like the promoter. It's who issues the permit. Can pull it. And if you don't have permits, I mean, there's so much permitting to go, especially in triathlon with street closures and everything else. I mean, I've done some duathlons here locally, and they just stopped doing them because permitting got too hard or too expensive. Right. So it's all safety. There's sometimes it's even out of the promoter's control. There was, I'm going to say maybe at least 5 or 6 years ago, it was a while ago now. And we're living it right now too. I mean, I know we were talking before hitting record, and you're saying that you got some really great weather right now. We are still in the thick of heat, and to pile on top of that, we also have
the fires. Do you have the fire?
Well, the smoke,
fires?
Right? So we basically have had a week and a half solid of about 90 to 95 Fahrenheit. So that's, around that 30 to 35. Like right now it's 34. But then you pile on top of that the air quality because of all the smoke. And they will just tell you, anybody and everybody, kind of go to your car, jump in your car, go where you got to go, and no activities outside. Right. And then it's even worse. They were even saying there for a little bit that if you have breathing complications, don't even go outside at all. Like, don't go check your mail. Don't do anything. I can usually look out the back windows and see the mountains, and I haven't seen them really for the last week and a half just because there's been so much smoke. Right. But it's coming from everywhere. We got to come from Saskatchewan. We got to come from BC. We had some big fires where I was going out, about 5 years ago, 6 years ago, maybe even a little bit longer. But we're sitting, like, it's even at the day of the event, and the promoters are still like, we're trying to move ahead. We're trying to, but if the government says we're not allowed to run, we can't run the event, right? And so they ended up closing down one of the loops. It was a Blackspur Ultra, and they ended up closing down one of the loops. And so you had to do a loop twice to count for, the first set of loops. And then, so you had to do one, but they broke it up. And then the second time you had to go around, if you were doing the 108K, they did so loop one would be like 1, 2, 3, and 2, and then you go do 1, 2, 3, and 1 or something like that to get your total distances. So it was pretty good. And so they were able to go ahead, but it was literally like an hour or two before the gun is when they said they could go ahead. It was just crazy. I mean, if Brian's listening, he'll correct me on some of the numbers, but that's the gist of it, right? And what was funny, but not funny, is our night runner, because we had done a team that year, our night runner got off course. Right. And so, but we were able to see where he is and everything, because he's calling it. He goes, I'm on a logging road somewhere. I got cell service. I can finally call you. Like, I'm sending pin drops and we're trying to get him. But he was behind a mandatory evacuation line. And so he ended up coming out, and we went up to the barricade, and he was kind of working his way down that road after we did some sleuthing on the GPS and everything. And the officer actually was threatening to charge him. And it's like, dude, he's lost. Like, we get what's going on, but trust me, like, there's a big race going on. You can go check it out. Like, he doesn't want to be here, because if he's here, he's not over there, and we're not winning, kind of thing, right? Like, we're off course and everything.
Come on.
But it was just crazy getting into some of that smoke and heat. I know we kind of went off subject a little bit there, but that's okay. We got time. So it's going to be interesting. We got that same race coming up, and it's just been in the back of my mind. There hasn't been any chatter or any talk about it right now, but there is a good serious chunk of BC kind of on fire right now, where we go to do this race. And I was thinking last night, road closures, where are the fires? Is there a possibility, and everything else? So we're even trying to look at that. But back to races.
Maybe this is the whole sign that we just all need to be doing more high rocks, because you're indoors anyways.
That's right. Do it inside in the air conditioning. What?
No.
Oh, I know.
No.
MNP, a sports facility in Calgary, they've started putting on some high rocks. So that's where I work and do the 3433 triathlon coaching for them. But it's, everybody's like, oh, it's indoors, it's great. It's like, no, it is so hot because it's a big dome, right? Like a tent.
Oh.
And it is hot. And because there's a dive tank, the competition pool and the regular pools, it's so humid and everything in there. I think you'd probably rather do the high rocks outside in the baking sun.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Very cool. So that's kind of where my athletes are. Alicia and I were talking a little bit. For some of you know that we're kind of into that sinister triple with Jess and everything. And I am kind of running around today doing a whole bunch of errands, getting prizing ready, like the prize vouchers and everything. Because tomorrow we head up to Grand Cache, Alberta, for the Canadian Death Race. And so we're going to break the drive up into 2 segments. We're going to drive up just west of Edmonton. So we'll do about a 4-hour drive, camp for the night, make it nice and easy for the kids. And then we'll do another 4 hours to Grand Cache. And we'll get there Thursday afternoon. We do our volunteering. We're going to do 4 hours of volunteering then on Thursday. So we're going to stuff swag bags and stuff like that and help get things set up. Thursday night and Friday, we have our expo, the race expo. This one is it's a really fun race. It's appropriately named. The death race. It's crazy. It's interesting. I always tell my athletes, don't weather watch until about a day or two before the race, because the weather changes so much and you can drive yourself crazy. But it's going to be looking really nice for Jess on Saturday. I think they're calling for about 15, 16 degrees last time I looked, which is like 59, 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Like,
right.
The only thing better than that.
She did the 50K, right? And how long ago was that?
So that would have been, it'll be, right now it's just a little over 2 weeks ago.
And how has her training been in the last 2 weeks? Has it been about recovery, maintenance?
That's a
fueling?
great question. I love you asked. So as you know, like part of all my athletes'
we're
recovery.
in it. This is like real time data here, guys.
Yeah,
pay attention
right?
to this.
So she ran that in 9 hours. She did her 53K with all the elevation and everything. It's so the Sunday through Wednesday, she has 1 hour walks. So all my athletes will always get a minimum of 4 1-hour walks kind of thing, right?
Do you encourage incline or just out flat? Doesn't really matter.
Just a flat walk.
Just walking.
Just a flat walk. And then one of my athletes actually asked me this week and said, "Can I do a bike?" And I'm like, "Are you promising that you'll stay really low zone 2, like going so slow you'll almost fall over kind of thing?" He goes, "Yep." And I go, "Cool, I'm happy with that." It's all about going back to what we talked about a few episodes ago about the CNS reset, right? And so that's why I want them to walk. And sitting on the couch, as I'm sure you'll agree with me, is the worst thing to do, right? Like not moving is not good. You are not going to recover. So I do 3 to 4 days. So about till Wednesday, then just all 3 of them that ran that race would do 1 hour walks. Some do more, some do less. I just want them moving, leisurely walks. And then we will have our call by then. So I always will do a post-race check-in with the athletes. I want to know how it went with her or with them. Not that we didn't talk about it for 2 hours on the way home, but I want to know what's going on with you as the athlete, right? So as we talked about with those markers, are you sleeping again? Right? Been sleeping all the way through. Are you eating properly? Hydrating? How's your mood? All these different things. And, and the mood one is interesting because I've had a few athletes go, "Well, now that you mention it, yeah, I've been kind of out of sorts, or I've been kind of grumpy, or that kind of thing." I was like, "Okay, that's normal. Don't worry about it. Like, you'll come out of it. We're just going to give you maybe a couple extra days then of just strictly very, very low key walking and stuff like that." And so then she would have come out of that, I think, about Thursday. Then I'll do a 30-minute run, zone 2 foundation run. And I tell them, if anything hurts, anything doesn't feel right, you are to turn that into a walk. Now you've got a 30-minute walk. Or if it's not quite there yet, you can run walk it. Right? I just want you moving for that 30 minutes, and you need to be honest with me how it's moving. And if that goes good, then I may do another 30-minute. And then, by now we're like into kind of Friday, and then Saturday I might give a 45-minute, but no more than an hour, depending on how they're doing. Then most of my athletes will have like a Sunday off. And that's the whole week after the race, right? So when we only have 3 weeks in between, that's what we do there. And then last week and I don't do repeats of what your last was before the first race, right? So I look at it and go, okay, so yeah, your last long run was, it was 9 hours technically because you did the race, but before that, before you started tapering, you were into 4-hour runs. And so I typically would give about a 2-hour, maybe 2.5-hour long run. So she would have done that on Friday of last week. And then just some speed work, some gym work, and then still some other stuff in between. So I do give a fairly good week in the middle, and I just call it bridging. Right. And then we go into, again, another taper week this week kind of thing. Right. But it's not your typical taper, because even Jess goes, thought this was a taper week kind of thing, right? And I'm like, oh, it is. Don't worry. Right. But so, Monday, she kind of, first day of the week, she would have done like about an hour and 10 run. Then then I think the way we have hers is it would have been a day off. And then she would have done some speed work and then another 45-minute run. Today was a day off for her. So she did some yoga. She'll do strength twice this week that are about 20 minutes, and it's more about plyometrics. So the neuromuscular connection. That's been this taper week for her. She'll do a 15-minute shakeout run on Friday, races on Saturday. And then I think, can't remember what we got tomorrow. I think she's got a real easy kind of session. So it's really low kind of key taper stuff this week, but we're still doing, get the massage, do the mantras, do the mental work, which again, we're going to talk about here shortly. And that's kind of what the bridge looks like for her.
Has she been snappy, moody at all?
More than normal?
Oh, hey, she's not here to defend herself.
That's okay. She'll listen on Friday.
I got you, Jess. I got you.
No, she's been really good. It's been, and top tip of the hat, right? So getting the trailer ready, getting ready for the race. Kind of, we've been going since Saturday, because we had kids events on Saturday. They did we have chuck wagons come to town once a year, chuck wagon races over at the rodeo grounds. But then they were doing like kids where they get a wagon and then they got to dress up the wagon, and then they have a race with 3 of them, right, pulling this wagon to represent the chuck wagon. So we did all that Saturday in the blazing heat. And then pretty much since Sunday, just kind of getting all the kit ready, getting all the gear ready. But I love her, checklists. She'll chuckle when she hears that, right? Because if we get there and something's missing and I go, was it on the list?
No.
And she's like, yep. And I go, is it checked off? And she's like, piss off. Right. So, she's been really good. She's been kind of getting all that ready. And I don't know if I told you, but we had some trailer issues when we got back from Sinister. So long story short, we could have lost our rear axle on the way home, but we didn't. So it was all good. But just trying to get that all repaired and everything went well. And that was just been fun.
Stress is stress.
Well, it is, right? And just the timing and everything else. And of course, when you go to these events, it's interesting because it's sold out. All the hotels are sold out. Everything is Airbnbs. They're all sold out and booked. And you can put your name on waiting lists, so you're blue in the face. But realistically, there's probably another 50 people ahead of you, right? Because there's, I think they're capping this event at 1,300 racers.
Oh wow!
Right. So coming into a smaller community, that takes up quite a bit. And we're staying in Tent City, so that'll be all right. And just I mean, you're hardly in the tent or the trailer when you're gone. But she's been great. She's been getting all that ready. So, like you say, there's a bit of stress for that, and then the training kind of stress. But we try to keep it as low key as we can. So that's it. So we're heading in for the Canadian Death Race up in
All
Grand
right, number
Cache is going to
2.
be
Well, good luck,
this.
Jess.
Yeah. Oh, she's going to smash it, right? And she doesn't quite have that cough this time where she
Okay.
did for Sinister, right? So, because I know we talked about that, and
Yep.
we think part of it was the AC in the house, part of it was the smoke and everything
Mm-hmm.
from the fires, and the
Mm-hmm.
kids were sick prior to that. So, but it's interesting, the AC, right? So, if anybody out there is listening and you kind of feel like you're not feeling great, maybe you got your AC cranked, and yeah, it's great to have the heat, but it could be affecting some training. That's
Hmm.
interesting,
Hmm.
right? So, I'm not a doctor. I just play one on TV, but you never know, right?
Maybe we should jump
um,
back into our first topic and get back onto that
yeah. So
motivation train.
yeah. So radical adaptability is kind of one of the first things I had on here, and what's happening. I mean, we got races, right? I mean, that's a bit of chaos into our training, and just trying to fit the training into the chaos. Kids are on holidays, right? So your trip last week was really tied to kids going to camp, I believe, right?
Yeah, I had a great trip away. Highly recommend you guys do this. So, real quick, my kids went to a sleepaway camp. It was through Operation Purple. I'll give them a little shout out. And we had applied for it back in February, and I told the kids, well, if you get in, we'll absolutely do this. So, it was down in the Outer Banks, North Carolina, and we are up in New Jersey, and it was a completely free camp for military kids. So I think there was like about 115 kids. And so all 4 of my kids, it was from 6 to 14 aged, got to have quite the summer camp experience. I never got to do this growing up, but it was right on the Sound in Columbia, North Carolina. They did everything from swimming, crabbing, kayaking, archery. I feel like you name it, they had all the summer camp. But from a mom standpoint, it was really zero communication. Actually, there was quite a bit of storms and the Wi-Fi got knocked out. So I think, heard back from them like a couple emails from the whole week total. But
Mm.
they had no technology, and you could write letters, but I don't know how slow the mail is and stuff. So I went and rented a beach house. My sister-in-law came. We had like a working vacation. So I would wake up every morning, get a workout in. We worked. And then in the afternoon is when we played and relaxed. So it was interesting normally it's you come back from vacation and you need like a vacation from a vacation.
Yeah.
This, I didn't have to worry about my husband, my
And he
dog,
was on tour
my
too, right? So
kids.
you really had a vacation.
Truly, it was highly recommend it. Any other moms out there can, yeah, I highly recommend it. Definitely not my normal type of little getaway vacation, but it was great. It was great. So, yeah. But it's still, I was out of my routine, There
Yeah.
was definitely, it wasn't your day to day, where you can do the things, have the support. But
So being out of
what do
your
you
routine,
do?
how did you motivate
Uh-huh.
yourself?
Well, a change of scenery definitely helps.
Yeah.
And it was interesting because my sister-in-law is somebody we're very, very different. Let's just say that. And it was kind of like we just set good boundaries. Like she was totally, like not judging me for wanting to go for a run, and she was going to do this. So I definitely say I would recommend that, of like, don't compromise things that you want to do. Or, there was times where she wanted to read a book and I'm listening to my podcast. Like, we were together but separate. Like, set time for yourself. I think that's with even with your husband, with your kids, like, make sure you give yourself that me time. There was times where the weather was oh my gosh, it was like flash flooding the whole time. I don't know. I feel like the weather in general has just been so extreme lately. So that was cause of a pivot. I didn't do any strength trainings, but I definitely prioritized the running and kind of embraced that, which is totally okay. Like I didn't, you can stress about it or you can adapt. And, I went to the gym Monday morning and I was like, this is going to hurt a little bit. And, it did, but I always tell my athletes, like, you can't lose that much fitness in 1 week. And it wasn't like I was just sitting on my butt doing absolutely nothing. Like,
Right.
So,
So
you
how
pivot
would
where
you
you
say?
can.
How would you say that? I mean, because definitely vacations are going to jolt some people's routines, and a lot of people are very routine in, just kind of even jokes with me. Go, that wasn't in the plan. Stop talking to me. Don't ask me to do that. That's not in the plan today, right? But it's the holidays is very real, right? And there's many different types of holidays. There's like the one where you did it. There's definitely one with kids. And then wedding destination holidays, like for weddings and all that type of thing. But just in general, like with the kids being home, how is that altered what you're doing? Because I mean, it's probably getting better now as the kids get older because they can be a little more self-reliant. But I know with mine, as much as I want to say, okay, yeah, leave and don't come back until dark, I still kind of want to know what they're doing and where they are.
Yeah.
Right? And
my kids, my youngest is 6. My oldest just turned 11. And, again, I look back on, gosh, you guys are going to think I'm crazy, but that's okay. I'm okay with that. But I remember doing trainer runs on my bike with the baby strapped on my back because she just needed to be held. She couldn't lay on the floor, and getting my run in, or getting a ride in, not my run. Wouldn't run with a baby on my back.
But on a trainer indoor cycle, for those that aren't sure what a trainer is, she wasn't out on the road, the kid strapped to her back.
Yeah, it's so fun. Or, I remember, I just saw one of my friends from high school. She's also a big runner. She has 4 kids. She pushed 2 kids in a double stroller. She pulled 1 kid. It was this new thing out there. I didn't have it. It never existed when I had kids that age. So she's pushing 2 kids in a double stroller. She's pulling 1 kid, what looks like in like a trailer that you would attach to a bike.
Okay.
But it's made for running.
Yeah.
And then she had her 6-year-old on the bike. Wow. So, I mean, talk about trying to, get the thing done when
and it reminds me
her
of
joy.
Jess would do the same thing. So when the two, Renner and I were younger, it was not as many kids. We just have the 2, but they would be in the double stroller and she'd be pushing them on the runs and then have the waist belt on for the dog. Right? And all the neighbors like blocks over and in other subdivisions, just like, oh, we didn't see you on your run yesterday kind of thing. It's like, but yeah, I mean, she would just make it happen. And the kids,
they adapt. Yeah.
They adapt, but it's not meant to be negative, but they just don't know any different, right? Like you can look at all the kids that go to these ultras and everything that we're doing, going this training, this prepping, this getting there, dad being a sponsor at the events, right? With Ready Endurance being the sponsor with Sinister Sports this year. It's just normal to them. It's, like, I was talking with someone the other day and it says, yeah, this is the race the kids really love, the death race. It's just under 7K and it has fairly good elevation. And they're just like Irick's running 7K. And this is, I think amazing. This is like his 3rd or 4th year running it. Right. And they're like, I don't like running 7K kind of comments. Right. But to the kids, it's just like, meh, that's normal. We just go out and we run and we kind of do things. We're loading up in the camper. Hey, yay, Team Ready Endurance, let's go. And off we go on another road trip. So when they're pushing them in the strollers, and I think, I think it's a good culture for them, right? It's a good atmosphere. It's something it's good for them to be around. For sure.
It's interesting. Like my my sister, for example, she basically plans all of her vacations around, they're big mountain bikers. So a
Mm,
lot of trips that go, they're very active. Boom, 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 boom. And then there's other vacations where it's like your vacation is to go to the beach, or maybe you're going to Disney World, or, I would say it's a very chill, or maybe it's your party kind of family, and you like to, stay up late and consume, certain beverages because you're on vacation.
that's right.
Everyone has their own thing, but it's just going back to what are your goals, what are your priorities. If you are signing up for a race, or your health is important to you, I think that's really what it comes down to, is just what's important to you. I think we talked about it before of
Hmm.
spinning the question, is not about like this, and this. It's about, well, how much do you care about it? So if
Yep.
that's what matters to you, you'll always kind of come back to it, I think, for
I
sure.
just had to ask an athlete to remember their why
There you
recently.
go.
Like, why did you start this, and why do
Hmm.
you want to finish it? And I think that's a really good segue into the motivational part and the psychological part of this summer chaos that we just talked about. So vacations and trips and weddings and barbecues. I mean, when do we usually do our long runs? On a weekend, because we have the time to do it. And then all of a sudden you're getting invited to all the barbecues because the weather's nice, and weddings and kids events and all this other fun stuff. It's easy to lose the motivation, right? And I'm getting, it's like, it's motivation season, if you almost want to call it, right? It's that time where I just don't feel like doing it. What do I do? Help Coach JW. So I'll ask you, Coach Alicia, when an athlete comes to you and they're saying, all right, now I'm having a problem with motivation. I just don't care right now. Anne, where are you, Anne? Sorry. Took it, saw it, took it, done.
Got it.
So how do you,
Good
like,
one.
how do you come
Mhm.
back to the athletes on that one?
Yeah, well, I take them back to, why did you sign up in the first place? If it's for that race, I think back, think about the time when you toed the line and you were ready, and how that felt. It kind of just reels back in why you signed up in the first place. Um, I'd ask them to go back to, let's just focus on today, on this moment, on just getting through today, maybe tomorrow. Okay. Or maybe it's just we're focusing on this week. We break down those goals into micro goals. You sometimes hear called, outcome goals versus process goals, the
Mm-hmm.
big dream, and then reverse engineering it back down to this. Um, Sometimes it's just about starting. It's having a good playlist, setting that alarm, saying it out loud. Sometimes it's saying it on social media, so then it gets really scary, or something, makes you a little bit more nervous,
Yeah.
that kind of holds you accountable. So, yeah, what would you say?
Yeah, it's I've kind of been talking a little bit about this lately with some of the motivation stuff, and it's just like, and I see it with maybe not newer athletes, but maybe newer to structured training or specific training, or like you say, bigger goals that are scary, and now realizing that there is a bit of a commitment to achieve them. And it's, we talked a little bit about it, I think, before we hit record. It's, it's slicing it up, right? So, I refer to it as that session slicing. Say that 3 times fast,
Say that.
Dr. Seuss. But if we can break your training session up, and so for a lot of my athletes, when we get into long runs, so especially like, you're doing long course triathlon and ultras, your long runs get into, around 4 hours kind of thing, right? And so you're doing a few of those, and right now we mentioned the heat and the smoke, that's a no-brainer. You're not running outside for 4 hours on a training run. Like, I'm sorry, we don't need to be a hero kind of thing, right? It's take it inside. And I think that's where another huge motivate. It's like, I cannot be on the treadmill for 4 hours. And it's just like, well, if you've already said that before you even put your shoes on, no, you're not going to make 4 hours. Like I'm going through this with Runa and Ira, kind of not in a bad way, but just because where they are as kids, it's like if you're repeatedly going, I can't, I won't, it doesn't, and negative about everything, it's going to be negative. How can it not be? Like you can't just be so negative going into, let's say, a longer run on a treadmill, and then expect it to come out really good. So I will always ask athletes, first of all, we have to change the mindset, right? Again, like you were saying, go back to your why. Why did you start this? What's the goal you're looking for? And what are we actually, what's today's goal, right? So what is this session goal? What is this 4-hour run going to get you? Okay. And if you do, I've done them on the treadmill. Okay. Yes, they're crazy. But put on a Netflix. Is there a movie that you wanted to watch for a while and you just haven't because the kids have been, demanding your time, work's been demanding your time, but you got this 4 hours carved out because it's in the schedule, it's in the calendar. And that's another one I tell athletes too, is put it in the calendar. Because if it's not in the calendar, then for a lot of us, it's not real anymore. And it's easy to skip, right? How many times do you put a doctor's appointment into the calendar and then just go, meh, I'm not going, right? Like, I just don't feel like it. It's like, no, it's in the calendar. You're kind of planning it. Oh, I can't, sorry, Alicia, I can't meet at 10 o'clock because I'm at the doctor's. How about after or before? So I think if we can, carve out that time, put it in the calendar, and especially with families, it's there and everybody else knows. I'm pretty sure everybody nowadays has the family calendar, right? Where for us, we have the family calendar. So everything goes into it. Like my meetings, the time to record these podcasts, like it all goes in there so that everybody kind of knows and how to book around it. So I think if we can get that in the calendar, we can do it. But going back is, binge watch a few Netflix shows or something. Put your laptop on a table somewhere. I mean, I purposely, when we put the home gym in the basement, we've got TVs where we can actually see from some of that equipment, right? Especially if I'm on like a long ride even. Maybe you're answering some emails, right? Maybe you're going to listen to your favorite book and now you're just running and you're lost in the run. So you can do that.
Well, and use that as an opportunity. If you change your mindset.
Yeah.
I mean, especially for some of these ultra races, if you don't live at altitude, getting on the trainer or the treadmill and jacking up that incline, you can get a really good stimulus, where you wouldn't be able to because you don't live near some mountains or some altitude.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, and you don't have to run that either because, anybody who's never run an ultra here, I'm going to let you know a little secret. You don't run for 30 hours. There's a lot of power hiking and there is strategical walking and things like that. So yeah, jack it up to a 9 and say, okay, that's my 10-minute hill. And you can adjust your house, jack up the AC, blow those fans, have fuel so you don't have to carry it. You can really turn it into an enjoyable moment versus I think so. And I think it's really
the toilet is right there. You don't have to, side
pause, boom, 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 boom. Go get some water, take care of business, get back on the treadmill, hit unpause, and away you go. And you're right. Like I look in when we get into the long course stuff again, like how many times, maybe you're not old enough. We'll see. How many times have you seen a runner outside at a stoplight and they're still trying to jog in spot?
Oh my God.
I'm just like,
it cracks me up.
It used to be really, really bad, like in the 80s, 90s and stuff like that, right? It's not so bad now. People just kind of, but you still see it, but it's not as prominent as it used to be. And it's just like, whatever events we're doing, there's going to be times when you stop. And
100%.
It's an awesome time to practice the stop and goes, right? Now you're teaching your muscles. I think you're teaching your muscles now that you can stop. Whoa. I just stopped moving. Okay. Oh, you want me to keep going again? Okay, good. At least now your mind knows how to treat that. And maybe you get what is that one? There's a social media thing out there. I think it's Precision that does the cramp sniper. Have you seen that one?
Oh, I haven't seen it.
I think it's some kind of hydration, right? And it
Oh, I
shows.
think I know what you're talking about, though.
Yeah, and it shows a guy
Yes.
jogging. All of a sudden, he trips,
You get
and
a
it's just
cramp.
like you got a cramp,
Yeah.
and they call it, the cramp sniper or something. I don't know, but you're not going to necessarily get that. And if you do, then you're going to teach your body elsewise.
Mhm.
Again, in ultras, you're pulling into an aid station and you're filling waters.
Mhm.
You're not jogging on the spot, right? It's more about that. Oh, I got to
Yeah.
get
I think
going. See you later.
so many people get caught up in it's going to mess with their Strava
It's the
segment.
numbers or the
It's going to
segments
mess
and
with
it's or
their
my
pace.
pay. And I'm
Yeah. I'm
just
like,
like,
let that go. Let that
yeah,
go.
exactly. Putting stress on top of stress that you just don't need
Mhm.
for me. And
Mhm.
if there's a reason, sometimes maybe there will be. So we can look at some of those indoor runs that way. But I definitely think the mindset has to be the first thing, right? I mean, we're teaching, or I'm telling my athletes, part of your training is the taper week 2 or taper 2. We're doing mantras. You're saying stuff out loud. You're getting your subconscious ready to go. You're planning the what ifs and doing everything else. So why be negative in the training, right? And it's going to happen. I get it, but how do
Uh-huh.
you got to kind of identify it and pull yourself out of it.
I'm a
The other thing I
huge
think,
um I'm a huge advocate of smile while you're running because sometimes that smile will just change your mindset on
yeah.
things. Um the other day we were doing hill repeats with Run Club, and that was my next thing of just jump in with a group if the weather's in your
Mhm.
favor. The thought of driving 20 minutes to Run Club when I could technically just run outside, but it's that mindset of like I'm showing up on time, which is forcing me to get out of bed, and
Yeah.
running those hill sprints with somebody. Suddenly it turned into like I got to beat this person. I got to get ahead. I ran harder on those hill sprints, and then as we were recovering, we were all shouting, "I love running. I get to do this. This is so much fun."
Yeah.
As we're all literally like, "Why are we here? This sucks." But
Questioning life
it's
choices.
exactly. It's the
But
games you
there's
play, but it's
it's
when you're done how you're gonna feel,
and there's a
that makes it all
social
worth it.
aspect to that too,
Mhm,
right? So I did just
mhm,
talk with an athlete and said, "Look, like you've got a base build right now. What do you want to do that's fun? You like your
mhm,
CrossFit? Let's get some CrossFit in there." Oh, we planned out his week, and I'm just like, "Oh, wait a minute. You liked the swimming, didn't you?" Yeah, he goes, "I really did enjoy the swimming." Okay, good. We're pulling out a run and we're putting a swim in, and just finding out what you like to do. So if you're self coached, don't feel like you have to do the run every single day because that's what you think you got to do. Do some cross training, keep it fun. And if you're
mhm,
being coached, let your coach know, I really dislike this. I mean, yes, you're going to have times where like, I hate you, Coach JW. You just gave me 2-minute hill intervals, right? 6 times. I hate you right now. But I love the process and I love the training and it's still enjoyable. But if it's not enjoyable, talk to your coach and just say, how do we change this up? And even on some of those bigger runs, I think, like you said, if we slice it up a little bit, that can help. So it can be like plan your route, and then just like, okay, well the shopping store, the grocery store, or the corner store, or whatever it is, that's about a third of the way through. Just think about that first third of the run. Don't think it's, I'm not in a 3-hour run. I'm in a 1-hour run right now. It's not bad. And then when you get there, buy a water, whatever, do something, buy some gummies, whatever you might, whatever, treat yourself. It's all good. And then pick the next point. So the next third of the run. And now all of a sudden you just have another 1-hour run. That's all you're doing, right? You're not even thinking about that other one anymore because I got 60 minutes in front of me, and you can turn a 3-hour run into a pretty decent run psychologically that way. We do it out on the trail all the time in the ultras. Like, I just got to get to that ridge. I just got to get to the other side of this rock slide. I just got, the TA, it's only, 5K away. I just got to get there. And that's all I'm thinking about. I'm not thinking about the other 50K I got left kind of thing, right? So you can always just think about what's in front of you or mini points. You do that sometimes with your athletes?
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm always playing games with them and out there, whether they plant some water bottles out there. I just did a little thing on this, but you know, changing your route if you're constantly doing the same route, do it backwards. There's this fun feature. I don't know if you know or knew about this with Garmin, especially, but you can go in there and I used this when I was at the beach because I didn't know the routes and I didn't want to do another out and back. So I was able to go in there saying like, yes, I want to do 5 miles, and it just created me a course and then it gave me the map. So now I had a new scenery, something to follow. Like, okay, I'm not going to get lost. I don't have to worry about it. It kind of directed me with GPS, told me what to do. And it made my life so much easier. I didn't have to look at a map and think, oh, I hope this is 5 miles. Maybe it's 10. I don't know,
Yeah.
But
or trying to use Google Maps to do the drops and try to measure out.
Oh my God, it was such
yeah.
Such a game changer for sure. Yeah. Oh my goodness. But yeah, I mean, I've done in the past some light post intervals. Okay, we're gonna run really hard to the light post once I get to that, and then we're gonna do the mailbox, and then we're gonna do this. Let's go to the next tree, or let's run. We'll recover on the downhill, kind of things like that. Always playing mind games. I think you have to, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Or sometimes we turn it into time of okay, I'm gonna go for 30 seconds. And take it into almost like that interval style kind of game.
Yeah, I mean,
sure.
I mean, a fartlek, really. I mean, that's
there
all a
go.
fartlek is, a speed play. Just technically it should be just random speed play. And so you can do that yourself. You can make some of those sessions up for sure. The other one, I think, because again, the psychology part of it is pretty hard. And I don't really think there's ever a physical limitation on getting out there. And again, we talked about this before we hit record. Sometimes I will tell my athlete, you go do 10 minutes. Whatever's prescribed, I don't care. If you are having that real kind of don't want to go, getting inside your own head, being your worst enemy, go for 10 minutes. Put on the shoes, grab a water bottle, and go for 10 minutes. I tell them, I prefer if you run it, but you want to walk it, go for a walk. I don't care. You want to walk some, run some, whatever it is, but go out for 10 minutes and stop and then evaluate. Right. And I'll tell them then if today's the day that you really didn't want to do it, can't do it, whatever it is, it's not there, you're 10 minutes back home. Right. And boom, you've just done a 20-minute session.
There you go.
Right? With even not wanting to do anything, you've literally just done a 20-minute session, better than nothing kind of thing, right? But how often have your athletes gone out for 10 minutes and they've completed the session?
Exactly.
Because you got out there, and I've heard numerous times it was an awesome session. It was the best one all week, and it's the one I didn't even want to start, and I'm in such a better mood. There's just so many pluses to it, right? So that's kind of some of the stuff I will suggest to my athletes, right? So have you done...
I think gear is another psychological reset button.
Like having it set
if you're
out?
not really feeling... If you're not really feeling unmotivated, is go buy a new pair of shoes.
Okay.
Go buy a new pair of shorts. Maybe it's just some new socks that's just going to get you okay, now I got to use these, My husband was looking at my closet. He's like, you have way too many shoes. And I was like, that means I need one more.
That's right.
These
ones are about to retire. Here we go.
These are going to become the lawn mowing shoes.
That's so true.
Yeah, but I have an athlete, especially on those long runs, is setting out everything the night before.
Yes.
I think that's a great routine to get into.
Yeah.
So you're not overthinking it the morning of. I mean, that's what you're going to do on race morning, right? You're going to set it all out before. So you're just practicing, one more thing towards what race day is going to be like.
Well, and I love that, because I'll tell people that too, and just does it particularly for the long runs, on the counter, all the water, all the fueling, everything is ready. And it takes away the excuse in the morning of I got to get everything ready. And I just don't, it's already there. it's
Mm-hmm.
done, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
again, how hard is it just to slip the shoes on, put everything on, and go for the session?
Mm-hmm.
I think those are definitely some good hacks. They're real simple. A lot of listeners have probably done some of them, tried them. Maybe some have never thought about it. Um, anything else like the micro wins, right? So I think you kind of talked about it already. Like you say, like find that post and see how fast you can sprint to that light post, how fast you can sprint to the
Mm-hmm.
corner or something. Or another one I kind of like doing with athletes to help take their minds off is pick a pace and how accurately can you hold that pace for a certain distance without dropping, speeding up, or slowing down.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of gamifying it is definitely a way. But then finding those micro wins and then, uh, manufacturing the dopamine. Okay. I think you touched on it already. Like sign up for a group run,
Mm-hmm.
right? And get that
Mm-hmm.
social aspect going. Sign
I
up
think if
for
you're
a
not
5K.
currently signed up for a race right now, maybe that's something you can start looking into, um,
Mm-hmm.
which will give you some instant motivation real quick. Another
Absolutely.
thing, what was I going to just say? Oh, it was a good one too. It'll come back to me.
Okay. I was going to say, there's so many park runs out there now that if you want to
Yes.
go like run a 5K,
Mm-hmm.
and like try to
Mm-hmm.
race it or just do something, or maybe, I want to try to do a PR on a 5K today because or whatever, and
Mm-hmm.
go join one of those. I mean, like they're free, are they not, to join?
We don't have them, I don't think, in America. I'm sure they do, but I've heard about them a lot in Europe.
Yeah, Europe, they're big here in Canada.
Are they big here? Yeah, maybe they
Yeah.
are, and I'm just not. But yeah, I mean, or just like, yeah, go set out and do a little 5K and check out where your baseline is at. Treat it like that. And then now you have something to improve on and to work better towards.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I remember now what I was going to say. Now I just forgot it again. Um,
Here, we'll
what
just
is
put
wrong
on
with
the
me?
Jeopardy music for a minute. Do, do, do,
Oh my
do, do, do.
gosh.
Um, the other one I was going to say, and if you remember, interrupt me. Call up a buddy and say, "Hey, I want to let's have a go for 5K and see who can do the fastest time today." Like you can do some instant competitions and nice fun rivalry between other athletes, right?
I remembered now. When you look at your week of training, okay, so if you're in the training, I actually just had a conversation with my athletes. So typically there's about 2 key workouts in your week. All right. So not to say, the other workouts don't matter, but make sure you're prioritizing, the key workouts and being okay that, one, don't try to, stack. We've talked about this before, stacking workouts or
Mm-hmm.
making up missed workouts. Because there is the things of like, I overslept, I missed my alarm, or, you know, shit happens.
Yeah,
But
that's life. Yeah.
being okay with like making it prioritized to just not miss the long run, not miss the speed session. All right. Keeping the easy days easy. Kind of just again going back to those basics
Mm-hmm.
and letting it go. It's okay to miss a workout. Like I'm giving you permission. Um, you might, that might just be what your body was craving. There might be a reason that alarm didn't go off because you needed more sleep. Maybe
Yeah.
that was the thing. Maybe it was, the the gods from above telling you it's okay to sleep in,
Yeah, the training god just saying simply, it's just like, man, right? Like,
Mhm,
it's out of
mhm,
you're overreaching,
mhm,
time to dial it back. Um,
mhm.
and I mean, there's so many different ways, like, and I think it's worth mentioning as well is that every athlete that I coach will be motivated differently. Right. And so just try to think yourself for our listeners is that if you're going into that motivation sinkhole, rabbit hole, whatever you kind of want to call it, right? What is your motivation? kind of thing, right? So if you're training for a big event, what's the big event? What's the goal of that big event? If you're training for general fitness, right? What is that general fitness going to afford you? And I mentioned this with some of my older clients that are just like, let's say in for fitness, right? I just like, I want to do my strength twice a week. I want to do some cardio because yes, I agree. The science all says that it'll help me live a healthier, longer life and live more independent. I will bring that up and just say, well, remember when we did that, that first call, or we've talked about independent living, playing with grandchildren on the ground, just remembering your why you want to do it. And everybody's why is going to be a bit different. But also, like you just said, Alicia, it's okay to not want to do it. And just find out the reason why you don't want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Is it that you've lost the big goal and do you need to reevaluate that big
Mm-hmm.
goal? Or is it just because things are stacking up and then you can look at it and do a real quick time audit of your week and just go, I have really had no time to myself this week and I am, running ragged and everything else. Yeah, maybe for the longevity of what you're doing, it's better to miss 30 minutes now or an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Going back to that why are you unmotivated, or maybe are you overreaching or burned out from doing too much? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's very real. Or maybe you're underfueled.
Yeah.
I've had some athletes lately, especially with the heat of, I had to have a real hard conversation because he came home from his workout and he said he just wanted to lay down on the couch. And I go, did you fuel?
Yep.
And I said, chug some chocolate milk and then go lay on the couch. All right. Because you should never be finishing those workouts, those runs, feeling like you have a headache and you just want to lay on the couch and call it good. There's usually something underlying on there. So
yeah, hydration, absolutely
hydration,
fueling can be it. Yeah, and it's I know we're kind of coming up on the hour here. But, I was also having recently a chat with another athlete, and they were kind of like, yeah, I'm kind of disappointed with that race, and kind of came through with legitimate reasons kind of why they were disappointed. And I pulled up the swim, bike, and run, and I said, well, look at that. Your pace, you wanted this for a time on the bike. You were 15 minutes faster than what we wanted on the bike. And you're 10 minutes faster on the run than we wanted on the run. So while overall it might have been, not the greatest event you thought you had, it's still awesome. Like you're like 25 minutes faster between two events than what we had planned. And that, to me, that's a win. That is great, right? And so take the wins, take them for what they are, and appreciate and live the event too. And I did say that to them too. It's just like, even though some of those events kind of might have been a bit disappointing, but, go have fun at the expo. Go buy something, right? Take home the bumper stickers, do something, and I joke, Jess, we'll go to an expo and we're walking in to get our bib numbers and Jess is like, no. What do you mean? No, we're not buying anything. It's like, oh, we got to buy something. Come on, we're here.
Always.
All that kind of stuff, right? No, and she's usually right. We don't need anything, but at that time, it's not about need. It's just about want, kind of thing, right? Which I think also at the end kind of comes down into motivation. But I think for me, to kind of sum up for motivation, really a lot of it, I work with athletes is, yes, you're an individual. Let's find out maybe what's the underlying cause to this. Is it, what is it? Can we fix it? What is your why? And how do we keep it fun? Right. And just get out there, because most of it is, and as we've talked about it numerous times, the mind always quits before the body, but the mind is designed to quit before the body because the mind's trying to keep us alive and healthy and from danger and everything. Yep. So kind of going back to what we were talking about, if you're so negative and all about the can't, and it's going to be this and it's going to suck and the mind's going to go, you're right. let's not do it because it's going to hurt us. And so we don't want to do it. And then now you're just working against yourself. So mindset is, I think, probably just the number one thing with me. Change it and just get out the door and do 10 minutes in one direction.
Love
And
it.
you'll probably come back when you're done. Anything that you want to sum up or leave off with your ways to like motivate for our listeners?
Well, I'm feeling pretty motivated right now. I got this race I got to get going. I got to buy some new shoes.
Yeah,
I need to find
new
some
vest,
trails.
yeah.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even think about a running vest.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Well, I know
boy.
we're going to be, this is going to drop on Friday. We'll be right in the thick of death race with Sinister Sports on Friday. Tomorrow is Wednesday and we're traveling Wednesday, Thursday. But watch for a lot of the updates. Lots of motivation happening there when you just see, it's amazing what the body can do and what you can train for. And, you know, it can be tough, the motivation part. So it's not, it's not endless. You just got to find it, right? And look for the motivation, look for what motivates you. So basically the homework is going to be reflection for our athletes, right? Is motivation. It's going to be a resource for you to try to protect once you have it, right? Like, what's the why? It's put it in the calendar. It's my why. Don't add stress to your life that's already there. If something is happening and the barbecues and the weddings and the vacations and the kids, I'm sure we've all said it a million times, kids are only kids for so long, right? Like, they're gonna not want to be around us and everything else eventually when they get to their teens before they want to be around us again. So enjoy it now. Try to incorporate the kids into it. Maybe that's going to help motivate you, right? It's just like, hey, I promised Johnny that we're going to go do this. I got to get my butt off the couch and go do it. Maybe that's another way for motivating, right? But adapt to the chaos, right? Break the sessions down. Remember to put the fun back into the training. Yes, there's going to be some hard training sessions that suck, but for the most part, the journey should be fun. Overall, the whole journey should be fun. So audit the upcoming weekend, long run, see how you can break that up and motivate yourself. Break it down into 3 specific blocks if that's going to help you. Have all the gear, like Coach Alicia mentioned, all ready to go. Take away the excuses. 1 block at a time. Drop some comments into the comment sections. Email us what you do as a trick. Maybe you can share it. We'll share it with the listeners on the next one. What we gave you today is just a little bit of what works for us and for our athletes. But if you've got something, let us know. I'm Coach JW. Slice the summer sessions, fit the training into the chaos, and see you on the trail.
You're amazing.
That's a wrap for this week on the Endurance Balance. If you enjoyed the conversation, do us a huge favor. Hit that follow or subscribe button on your podcast app right now. It's the best way to support the show. And hey, we want to see your chaos. So come find us on Instagram at The Endurance Balance and drop us a DM. For Coach Alicia and Coach Ann, I'm Coach JW. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you on the trails.